Hello, everybody. This is Vessi Mink with Season 2, Episode 10 of the Music Train. I have Robbi Kumalo and Jimmy Owens on stage with me. We are so very excited you're here today. This is June 25th, 2023, with the Jazz Master in the house and a Grammy Award-winning and nominated artist, Robbi Kumalo. Jimmy, the stage is yours. I think you might have something for us to hear.
Oh. All right.
Woo! You know,
That's
even though that's the blues.
Jazz is the heartbeat of the world.
Dum, 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 dum.
Absolutely. Absolutely, because technology can be the headache of the
Oh,
world.
technology is the headache of the world.
But luckily, there's the blues.
That's right.
And luckily, we have you here with us because you are an NEA Jazz Master. You were inducted in 2012. And there's very few of you Jazz Masters on the planet Earth, especially right now in 2023. Can you tell us a little bit something about when you were inducted in 2012?
Yeah, that was a very, very wonderful time. And just knowing that the NEA Jazz Masters program from the National Endowment for the Arts is a program that honors jazz artists. It is the highest award that the U.S. government can give a jazz artist. And I'm one of maybe 165 or more jazz artists that have received this award since 1982.
Wow. And you know, you're in the bed of so many great jazz artists. I know you've worked with Max Roach, Art Blakey, Duke Ellington, Charles Mingus, Dizzy Gillespie, Count Basie, and so many others.
Yes.
So what are you going to do to celebrate your birthday that's coming up in December? Because I know you like to have parties and do things. Are you
Thinking about having a party? This will be my 80th year. And all of those names of great jazz artists that you mentioned, many of them have been awarded the NEA Jazz Masters Award. I feel that I'm going to do a wonderful concert that's going to feature a lot of jazz artists
Wow.
who are NEA Jazz Masters. And we're going to do that in New York at Flushing Town Hall. It's going to be on the 15th of December, after my December 9th celebration. And that's going to have a number of great jazz artists on it. And people will be able to go to Flushing Town Hall on the website and purchase a streaming video of the concert. So
Wow.
that's going to be something very good. And it's going to be a wonderful concert with wonderful jazz artists of today.
Yeah, I was talking to you a little bit about it before, and I don't want to say too much now. We'll talk about it as it gets closer, but I want to go back to kind of like how you and I know each other because we
Oh,
met when you did this beautiful, beautiful homegoing event for Dizzy Gillespie when he passed away.
right. Well, Dizzy had died in January of 1991. And in September, we put together this wonderful tribute to him that I called 100 Trumpets for Dizzy. 100 players.
And I was holding this up because this is what you were able to, make sure I had this event to go to because I got to sing one of Dizzy's songs, Con Alma, with this
Right?
wonderful choir. But you had this little birthday invitation on there. When I opened it up, I realized, like, wow, you were like 50? You
Oh,
invited me to your 51st birthday party? We've known each other a long time. And
right.
you've been able to help me with my children's records over
Oh,
the years, which I want to thank you for again. But you started playing music when you were 15 and you
yeah.
knew that you were going to play jazz.
Well, that's one of the things that helped me to grow. I was always shooting to become a very competent jazz artist from the standpoint of those who were around me and those who came before me.
Well, that is what you did for me. All these years that I've known you, we've always been able to flow in and out of friendship because of music is a flow. But I just want to know a little bit more about some of these artists that you've worked with that are NEA Jazz Masters as well. Do you have any stories that you want to share with us about
I
anything?
talk about Billy Taylor,
Oh,
great jazz pianist,
woo.
composer. He wrote the song I Wish I Knew How It Would Feel to Be Free. And he wrote that song for his daughter, who was in school one day, and the teacher was talking about the sound of vocal jazz and gospel type of music. And she went home and told her father, she is Billy's daughter, Kim, went home and told her father, and that made him sit down and write that particular song, I,
Wow.
How It Would Feel to Be Free. And I worked with Billy for 3 years on the David Frost show on television. He was the first black band leader of any TV show.
And folks that are watching this stream right now can look up David Frost on YouTube. I'm sure that some of those old episodes are probably able to be streamed again and watched on YouTube because David Frost had a beautiful show. But Billy Taylor was his musical director?
Yep,
What?
that was very, very exciting. Those 3 years and the experiences that we had in playing a variety of music was always wonderful. And the
So,
band, it was a 12-piece band. We actually did some concerts beside the television show. Billy Taylor had hooked up a few concerts for the band to play.
and that's another thing that you really support musicians with too, is making sure that they're paid fairly.
Oh,
Because you're on TV, that has to be a union contract because there's got to be somebody that's protecting the artists that do that on TV. Because otherwise, it would be like a giveaway. Is that also part of your work that you do, helping
that
artists know about that?
that's part of what I do. I have done in trying to make it better for jazz artists who are coming up, for them to think about what is going to happen in them building their career, in looking at the beginning of their career, the middle of their career, the latter part of their career when they may be old enough to receive something like a pension for the years that they have been playing music. So
Yeah.
I've been working with that for a long time.
Yeah, and like you're one of the musicians that knew about that when you were younger, but a lot of younger musicians really don't know. I'm so glad that you're teaching at the new school. How do you like teaching at the new school and being a college professor? You've done it a long time now.
Yes, it's been 33 years. I'm a part-time professor at the new school. I teach on Wednesdays and Thursdays. And like I said, it's been 33 years since 1990. And that's been very wonderful.
It has been. And I'm so excited for you because as a teaching artist myself, I enjoy going into schools working with kids. I know that you do a lot of things with young players. You offer different master classes and teach a lot of different skills in your master classes. I hope that I'm going to bring you out to Portland, Oregon to
Oh,
be here to share your skills with some
I,
of the students.
I hope that you will be able to do that also. I enjoy working with younger musicians who are trying to deal with learning how to be more competent in playing this music we call jazz. So I do a variety of workshops that help them.
Yeah, and I'm so glad that we're talking about it now on this beautiful day in June on the 25th because people can think ahead now where they can catch up to you. Whether they're in New York, they can find you in New York, come to your concert in New York City. But if they're a student in high school thinking about studying music, would you recommend the new school?
Yes, it's one of the best schools for teaching jazz.
Yeah.
The faculty are world renowned musicians. Matter of fact, our faculty has three NEA Jazz Masters on it. No
What?
other school has even one jazz master. We have three: Reggie Workman, great bass player, and the pianist Joanne Brackeen, plus myself. So that's very special for the new school.
Wow. So anybody that's in high school right now that's thinking about, yeah, I want to study jazz, I want to study jazz, check out the new school because they are really the new school that is bringing jazz forward. Some of them old schools have jazz programs too, but they're not like the new school because you got to keep moving forward. And that's what jazz is, a music that has a form like blues, which goes way, 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 way back in terms of music. And then you bring it forward with the way you teach and
That's
that horn that you play. And you play like the flugel and
yeah.
you play the trumpet?
I play the trumpet and the flugelhorn. The
Wow.
flugelhorn is a bigger bell instrument, and it has a warmer sound.
That's nice. And you work with like saxophone players and other players?
Trombone, everybody, piano, bass, violinists. I'm very happy about that. And when this is aired on June 25th, I'm going to look at it. I will be in Paris, France, and in Paris, France, whatever time it comes on, I will make sure that I see it. So
Yeah.
wherever you are in the world, you can check out StreamYard.com, and it probably will give you the information when this interview with Jimmy Owens, the NEA Jazz Master, is going to be aired.
Yeah, and people can also go to your website. I was on your website and I actually had to start taking notes in a notebook
Uh,
as I'm learning about all the things that you did because your website just not only has musical samples of everything that you've done, but so much other information about your journey as an artist. Is there anything that you can say that you want to leave with us? Not that you're leaving right now, but what is the one thing that you could give that would be an indelible impression that will stick on somebody that might be a young musician listening to this live
well,
stream?
one of the things that I would say is to this young musician to work on mastering the basic technicalities of your instrument. And when you do that from a jazz perspective, you are also doing it from a perspective of thinking. You have to think about many things and learn how to do them on the instrument without them being written out. It's about the mind, and thinking is what's going to help you to learn your instrument better, as well as being able to project more emotion through your instrument. Jazz artists are very special. Not only are we interpretive musicians who take a melody like Body and Soul or a melody like I Remember Clifford and interpret that melody, but we also are creative musicians where we have to take a material, any kind of material, and create something new and different. So that makes us very special.
It definitely makes us special because even like today, just getting to StreamYard right now was a lot of technical challenges. So when you were talking about if you're going to play jazz, know your instrument, know your techniques, know how to work your instrument. So if we have all this technology, none of us really know what's going on because technology keeps moving quickly, quickly forward. But if we can just get something that we can master within it, like we did to get on this StreamYard right now, we're able to master logging in, being on. I am sure
Yeah,
that your trumpet would
you're
express
coming
in
in,
a
and
yeah.
so what we're going to do is, beside learning how to do things on our instrument, we're going to learn how to emote from our instrument. I tell students all the time, take three notes, any three notes, and play a ballad, a slow, soft piece, using only those three notes, no octave. It makes you have to think, to organize your thoughts in melodic melodies. And those three notes can mean a whole lot.
Wow. Yeah, it can. You know, for me as a singer, when you say think of three notes, I think of that song that always pops up, Do Re Mi,
Oh, yeah.
right? From the Sound of Music. But those are just like it's like the song says in the words, it starts at the very beginning. There's just three notes. That's the place to start. So I saw you trying to pick up your trumpet. Will you give us an example of just three notes
All
that can
right.
express something? And
Tell
we'll see if we can figure out what that
me
is.
notes that you would like me to play.
Um, why don't you play some of the black key notes?
Okay. Let me just walk over to my piano to get my flugelhorn.
Ooh, let me tell you, you're in for something really special because he's going to get the flugelhorn. And all of these instruments Jimmy is fluent in, but this instrument, check this out.
All right. So now, what note would
Yeah,
you
kind of a
give
pentatonic.
me three music?
Um, you pick the three, but I was trying to get like a pentatonic kind of scale.
Any three named notes?
F
Any
sharp,
3 notes.
F sharp, G sharp, and A
Yeah.
sharp.
Oh, okay. Here are the 3 notes. And I'm going to create this ballad with only using those notes, no octaves.
Okay. Yeah. Ooh.
How did that come?
That was a real melancholy kind of. It was not a sad blues, but it was just like an optimistic blues to me.
Well, it was a ballad, you know. But then
Yeah.
I would tell the student, okay, create something more with a tempo. Same 3 notes. F sharp, G sharp, A sharp.
Yes.
So with a tempo.
Yeah. So
So
that's
those are
great because
exercises to make them think about what it is they want to create. You see, it's unfortunate that many times students have an abundance of notes and they decide to play 5,000 notes in 4 beats instead of playing something that people can understand much easier.
yeah, that makes sense because I think sometimes when you're
Right.
going on a bandstand, you're new to the form of music of jazz, you just want to play everything that you've learned and worked on. But sometimes less is more,
Right.
more or less.
Less is more. And that's one of the things that Miles Davis taught us a long time ago. He wouldn't play a lot of notes. He would create melodies with
Mm,
fewer notes.
mm. You know, something that you taught me once, we were doing a gig or somewhere we were, and I called a tune. I forget which tune it was, and I called it in a non-traditional key. And you looked
Yeah.
at me and said, really? You want to play it in that? You want to sing it in that key? And I said, yeah, Jimmy, that's my key. And you were like, okay. And then you played the tune. We had a great gig. And then afterwards, you thanked me, Jimmy, for getting you to learn that song in that key. And you
In
said when you
another.
went home, you would practice it in all the keys.
Mm-hmm.
And I was
That's
like,
true.
oh my gosh, I didn't mean to do that. But it actually taught me about my instrument as my voice It is a flexible instrument, but if my ear isn't listening, my mind isn't thinking, I can't really operate my instrument well. And
That's
it told me to
good.
practice and know every key.
See that?
So we're here with Jimmy Owens, and there could be some technical difficulties that are going on, but needless to say, Jimmy Owens is an NEA Jazz Master. You can go to his website, which is jimmyowensjazz.com. It's written down here below. You can see it. That's how you spell his name, JimmyOwensJazzz.com. And boy, isn't he a firecracker. So if y'all can come see him in December, or if you find him booked in your community, because that's my job, is to help him get some other locations that he can bring his music to, because he's an NEA Jazz Master, and we only have a few left.
Robbi, I'm completely blown away. And yes, there have been technical difficulties, but you know what? I just keep coming back to the studio. I've been dropped off a few times. Here he is. He's back. He's back. Jimmy Owens. Yes.
I know
What is
what's happening, but
It's weird, but it's on fire. I mean, first of all, I have to thank you both for basically bringing this show, Music Train, to another level, the level it should be at, which is the level
At
of the
NEA
pros,
Jazz Master level.
which is like I love jazz. I love jazz so much. I love jazz so much. I think jazz is life, and I wish I lived in New York, and I wish I was young so that I could take your course. You know, I don't know if you offer it online for people or if you do a master class like that. Yeah.
Yeah, well, thank you, Jimmy. This has been like impromptu. I was hoping to grab you before you go to France, because every summer I know that you go to France and you spend a wonderful time there with your beautiful, talented wife, Stephanie, who's an amazing photographer, which is another Music Train show that we could do.
Yes,
Because
please let's bring her on.
she's captured so many people's images, and so
we went
expertly.
a couple of years ago to celebrate Dizzy Gillespie's 100th birthday. This was in 2017. And he had a photography show called the Dizzy Gillespie Legacy. And she had 27 photographs of trumpet players from various periods of history, all the way back to Doc Cheatham up to a present student of mine who was getting his career to start. So that was a wonderful experience that we both had in Cuba, in Havana.
Ooh.
It's so hard to interject when you two are speaking. I find myself tripping over my own feet. But I have a few things I want to share, if I could, about both of you being here today, and what an amazing how do you call it? The stars are aligned, basically, because you both are here. And Music Train would just like to thank you for being here. You know, we end Music Train every segment with a song that I write on the spot. I record it live in my studio. I run Pro Tools here. I'm a singer-songwriter. I don't know if you know that, Jimmy. And I just, when we're finished with our show, we're going to go to that. And I would love a word from each of you so that I could write this song, because we're making a record. So we're not there yet, because I've got questions. I've been in the studio in the backdrop here saying, oh my goodness, listen to what they're saying. They're saying everything here. I've been taking notes. I've been adding to my documents here. I mean, will you please come back sometime soon, both of you?
I would love to. I would love to, and we will make sure that we don't have the technical difficulties that we've had this time.
That sounds superb, and I think that makes for a great jazz song. Technical difficulties. I don't know if
I
there's
was
a
just
title.
about to say, I was just about to say.
And also to quote you, Jimmy, you said very happy about it. At one point, I said, that's a title. I'm a titles girl. And at one point, Robbi had said, I didn't mean to do it. And I was like, that's another title. These are all titles. And I wanted to share real quick about the jazz greats that you've had the honor, and also they've had the honor to be with you on the stage. And what an honor it is to have you here again. Just thank you so much. Metaverse Generation, BK Han, myself, and Music Train, and of course, Robbi, for being the host today and knowing exactly in the most graceful of ways she is the very best to speak to when it comes to musicians who know what they're doing here and why they're here. And I couldn't be more grateful to you both for being here. And so the thing about Duke Ellington, I learned a song called Cottontail that he wrote on the keyboard, on the piano. And Lambert, Hendricks, and Ross, I was in a band. I was in an a cappella trio called the Smiling Minx, headed by Susie Williams. She's like Bessie Smith meets Greta Garbo. No, not Greta Garbo. Judy Garland. And then Maura Smiley. And they taught me this song. And we learned it together. Not the whole thing. But Cottontail, I know it. And gosh, it would be great to do, I don't know, some sort of collaboration with the two of you. I don't know if it's possible. But if it's possible, just let me know. Because, oh my gosh, it would be amazing. And I'm not going to sing any of it to you right now unless you beg me not.
I have to say, Vessi, I like your idea of taking all of these statements and making a song. And I'd just like you to include jazz is the heartbeat of the world.
Okay, then we're going to do it right now. Let's go.
I would love to hear that.
All right. You know, the thing is, I don't have my my 1/4-inch cable attached, but that's okay. It's meant to be just as it is. Jazz is the heart of the world. You hear it, folks, right here with
the heartbeat of the world.
The heartbeat of the world. Here we go. Okay, now can I play jazz? Jazz is the heartbeat of the world. Here we go. Jazz is the heartbeat of the world. Here we go. We're recording. Okay, here we go. 1, 2, 3. Jazz is the heartbeat of the world. Can you hear it beating? Boys and girls, it's beating in your heart. Jazz is the heartbeat of the world. No other like it in the universe. Jazz is the heartbeat of the world. Robbi, is it not so? Jazz. Jazz, it stole my heart. I was just a baby when I heard it on the record player. I said, wait, maybe I've been here before. Jazz, I've been here before. Jazz is the heartbeat of the world.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Very nice.
Hey, this was wonderful. Jimmy, thank you so much for your time.
Oh, I'm glad I could do it.
Yeah.
And
another title. I'm glad I could do it. I got to write them down. Can we make a record?
That's good.
We'll work on it while Jimmy's in France this summer.
And your concert's coming up for your birthday in, what was the name of the special place in New York?
In December, Flushing Town Hall.
You heard it, folks. Flushing Town Hall in December. You need to go there. You need to see Jimmy Owens live for his birthday celebration concert. I really want to be there. I hope I get to be there. Robbi, are you going to be there?
I don't know. I'd like to, you know. I don't know. I'd like to.
Oh, I've lost my image here.
We can
Well,
hear
we
you. You look
we
good.
can.
Glad
It,
I can.
it's
I'm glad you can hear me.
and we can see you. We can see you. What's interesting about this is that I feel because faith more than fear. That's what I'm working on. And each time I thought I lost you guys and that the stream wasn't working out, it was only my Wi-Fi that was off. So when it booted me out of the room, I didn't end the broadcast. I couldn't, but I could get back in and it was still going and it was clear as day. So faith over fear is my lesson. Not that I
Right.
made up,
It
but somebody
sounds
told
great.
me that.
It sounds good.
And this is kind of the beauty of jazz, because jazz, you can flow in and flow out. It doesn't mean that the beat is stopped. The beat continues because jazz is the heartbeat, and it will always continue. Sometimes it speeds up and goes really quick, and then we lose things, and then it isn't that. But if you just look around, there it is. You can always find the one.
It's ready. Go ahead. Yeah. Yeah. Thank you, everybody, for joining the Music Train for season 2, episode 10, with our special guest host, Robbi Kumalo, the one, the only, my dear friend, and her amazing friend, Jazz Master, Jimmy Owens, JimmyOwensJazz.com. Go to it. Go to it. Start studying. It's never too late to start studying. And I would like to go to the School of Jazz, the new school. Please, please be my teacher, both of you. Robbi, you're already my teacher, but I don't know if we could do something online, master class. I want to do something. Maybe we could host a class for Music Train. I don't know. Teach
Well,
them by
we'll
the
figure
week.
something out. We'll figure
Yeah.
something out, because I just always will uplift Jimmy, because he's a very important part of American music.
I
And
agree. And I'm just like, God is shining down. Thank you, God. Thank you. Thank you for today. Thank you for this jazz. Thank you for this life. Everybody stay in touch and keep your ear to the ground. Listen to the beautiful music that's making the sound, the nature, the trees. It's all everything we're doing here with this amazing jazz great Jimmy Owens, jazz.com. Go see him. And we'll see you next time on the Music Train. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. This is Vessi Mink and Robbi Kumalo and Jimmy Owens
bye.
Jazz over and out. Thank you.